Bandana Gramma here with some tips on how to best can your tomatoes as part of growing and preserving your own food. A good idea in these troubled times. Now, here you see in front of you a lot of frozen tomatoes. And what I did during this time when we're all asked to stay at home was I got out all the tomatoes I froze from last year from my garden and also some nice organic tomatoes that were given to me that I didn't have time to process back when things were really busy. That's what I like to do. If I'm growing lots of tomatoes and they're all coming ripe at the same time and there's a glut, it's really hard to try and can them all up when they need to be canned. But I found out that if you just wash them and put them in baggies and freeze them, they keep very well. And most people know that when you take a tomato and you dip it in boiling water for a few seconds, you can get the skin right off. Well, the reverse is true. If you freeze a tomato and take it out of the freezer and then just dip it in warmer water, the skin pops right off. And I'm going to show you that now. I first did all the grape tomatoes, and as you can see, I have a sink full of grape tomatoes. But I made quick work out of them. The longer they set, the quicker they pop out. So it took me a little while, but certainly worth it. What I have here is a bowl of the grape tomatoes. There were a few cherry tomatoes mixed into, and I put them in another bowl. And then I put all the skins in a third bowl. And my thought for the skins was I will take them and dehydrate them and see if I can make them into a powder. And then I'll have tomato powder to add to different baking dishes or cooking dishes. Okay, these are the fun tomatoes. These are Roma tomatoes, and they really pop right out of their skins when I just split the ends and give them a squeeze. These work up really quickly. Pop, pop. Once the tomatoes have cooked down well and gotten soft, I get out my immersion blender and I put it down on the chunks so I don't have any big chunks or lumps of tomato in there and we have a nice sauce. I also added 2 little cans of tomato paste. And you could add onion and garlic and green pepper, but if you do, you're going to have to pressure can this instead of water bath can it, because those veggies are low acid foods and you have to pressure can low acid foods. Okay, I got my equipment set up for water bath canning. Got my jars sterilized and hot tomatoes there, and I've got some lemon juice to add to the jars. First thing I do is put in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice for each quart of tomato sauce. This is because the tomatoes these days aren't as acidic as they used to be, so to be safe, we add a little acid. And now I fill up the jars, leaving about a ½ inch of headroom. I wipe the rims so there's no debris left on there to interfere with the seal. I add a lid, get a screw top band, and put it on there finger tight as I can get it with just my fingertips. Then I place each jar as it is made up into the canner. Now this is a water bath canner because tomatoes are a high acid food, and you can water bath can those for processing. So these are hot jars and hot sauce and hot lids. The 40 minutes processing time is up, so I remove the jars from the canner, set them on a towel to avoid the temperature change cracking, and we let them sit overnight to cool off, and they will ping away and seal. Tomorrow morning I will remove the bands, wash them up, and mark what's inside. I had 2 extra jars of grape tomatoes, and they're going into process now.